Hi guys, so I decided to give a live show a bit of a go, as it were. So what I wanted to do is I've got a bit of time where I needed to do some weathering, and you all know I'm not great at the old weathering thing. So I just wanted to have a go at doing it, and I figured while I'm at it, I may as well do it on camera. I'm trying to get a technique that I've seen on the internet that Jay Adams did. Using hairspray, mixing it with the weathering powders, and then basically painting it on. So we'll see how that goes. Probably take a bit of time to just chat about any old nonsense as well. So let's have a look what's going on. So I've put a chat there. So if you wanted to have a chat, feel free to leave a comment. Excuse me. And what I'll be doing is, whoa, over that way. Too many fingers. Right, so basically what he did in his video was he sprayed some hairspray into a container and then mixed in a bit of the weathering powder and then applied it. And the good thing about that is it doesn't actually set. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough at the moment. It doesn't set permanent, so you can use water or indeed more hairspray to undo any mistakes that you make. So because it's my first attempt, I'm actually going to do the back, which you don't see much of, and do the back of the fort walls, which look like that. It'll add a bit of colour to them, hopefully make them look a little bit more real. I don't know what I'm going for really, but yeah, not sure how I see if anyone's watching. That breaks that. Really sorry about that. I've got a terrible cold at the moment. I think my son's give it to me, or I've given it to him, one or the other, and we're both suffering somewhat. Which may not have been the best time to be doing this video, to be honest, with all the coughing, but we'll see how we go. Don't know how long I'll be doing this for. Let's have a crack. I haven't advertised this anywhere, so if anybody joins, it's going to be on their own back, so I haven't really forced the matter. And to be honest, it's a Friday night, so I'm not really expecting anybody to jump in. If I'm totally honest with you, it's more of an exercise to see what's possible more than anything, because I really would like to do more of these going forwards, but we'll see. So what we've got there is something which is going to dry matte, so like the weathering powders. God, this is awful. I'm really struggling to talk and not need to cough, to be honest, which might have been a bad idea. And then I guess, now I was speaking to some people online, and they said to sort of downward strokes to give a sort of desert dust effect. But we'll find out. So I'm just going to apply it like this and see how it comes out. Like I said, I'm doing it with hairspray, so it'll undo, and then I suppose to give it a rough edge across the top, just go like that. So we'll see how that comes out. I mean, it's problem with weathering powders, it never looks right until you've actually let it dry. I've got a feeling that's going to look a little bit funky, but we'll see. Well, that one's drying, I may as well do another one. So let's see. Of course, it'll look a lot different if I was doing this side. There's a lot more detail on there. These bits are mainly hidden, which, like I say, is the reason I'm doing them. So there's a lot more detail there. Whether that'll make a big difference to weathering, I honestly don't know. Hopefully we'll find out. No comments yet. I don't think anybody's watching. They're probably all out having a good time on the piece, as it were, which is fine. Like I said, this was just wanted to have a chat. People seem to like people just sort of talking at the camera, and it's something I've never done. I've always been very matter of fact, getting to the point, and that sort of thing. I've never found it easy just to talk about nothing, to be honest. really struggled with doing that, both in real life and in front of the camera, to be honest. That looked like it was drying a bit strange, so actually I think that's probably going to give a better effect. Sort of stippling like that. We'll see. So yeah, I've never been very good at sort of talking about nothing, or just talking and making elaborate, changing something that's a really simple thing into an elaborate story, that sort of thing. Something my wife excels at. Talks my ear off every opportunity. Just the most mundane, simple things. Any husbands out there probably understand this. Just everything that happened in a day just becomes this like elaborate story with no ending, no middle, no point. And it's difficult to listen to sometimes. Well, I think that's probably giving quite a nice effect. It's hard to tell at this stage. I don't know whether I need to go over it again at the bottom. I'd ask what you think, but I don't think anybody's watching, unfortunately, so I can't do that. That's no problem. This is the first video, and like I say, zero advertising for it. I mean, it is adding something. This is just refusing to focus. Focus. That's kind of it. I mean, I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up any good, but yeah. So there's a few things I wanted to talk about, since I'm just rambling on about doing this, and that is really the direction I was taking the channel. So when I came back, I did the welcome video. I explained the situation with Lillian and how we'd lost her, and how I wanted to get back into things, and how I felt that Gorkamorka, being a simple skirmish game, was a good way to do that. Might try some on the bottom of these. And to be honest, one of the things I wanted to do is, because I noticed there was no content, well, not exactly no, but very little content on YouTube for Gorkamorka. And you compare that to Necromunda. There's a fair bit of Necromunda, but I think there's more people that play that. And I think if more people knew about it, the more people would play. Because of course, one of the most fun things about collecting orcs is doing the vehicles, making any old random toy into a cool vehicle. And this allows you to do it on a cheap budget as well. So all you need to do basically is buy a box of orcs. With October coming up, it's quite a tempting prospect. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm getting any of this on camera. Just trying to do it on the bottom of these ladders, this ladder section here. Stay in focus, come on. This camera really doesn't want to behave, does it? Anyway, so it's a great opportunity, a great excuse to collect a few orcs and do some random vehicle conversions. And let's be honest, doing orc conversions is a lot of fun. I've had a world of fun sorting out ones that I've done. It's just fantastic. You don't have to worry about it being neat. You can do any old random crap, because that's basically how the orcs are supposed to look. And it just looks nice. It fits, basically. There's that one. That's starting to come off quite nice. Excuse me. I think the light from the camera is picking up the top bits here a little bit more than in real life. That isn't quite as bad as that is there. What it actually looks like in real life is quite a nice sort of gradient, as if the dust is sort of blown up the wall. And that's the look I'm going for. A little bit to come through the front. That's probably not a problem, because I'll be doing the fronts at some point anyway. There's probably going to be more dust on the front. This hairspray way of doing it does seem to work. I mean, if it rubs off, it probably isn't the worst thing in the world, because it would rub off the sort of elevated parts of the walls just by the wind hitting it, that sort of thing. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build up some of the sand on the top there, while Oh, I've just made a bit of a patch there. One of the problems with hairspray we're seeing there, if I go over it a second time, it's potentially going to take off what I've put on. Let's see how that looks once it's dried. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought here. So I was talking about Gorkamorka, an excuse and why you want to play it. Why I wanted to play it is I knew that there was a lot of opportunity for me to do just a small bit of work, just do a few walk boys, take my time with them, do a piece of scenery, which I managed to do. I'm still working on it, added bits to it, and I'm really enjoying that. It's been a load of fun to do. And yeah, just ease myself back in. It's been a traumatic year. I really felt the need to get back into this for my own health more than anything. I spent a long time doing absolutely nothing when for the first couple of weeks after Lillian, even months to be honest. I was going through a real tough time. Speaking of which, we need to sort out a headstone at some point, which of course is going to be pleasant. I want to get something nice for her though. Yeah, I don't know how long this has been going now. Seem to be talking about utter nonsense, to be honest. I'm going at 10 minutes, something like that. Sorry if this is a bit all over the place. I'm not very good at organising my thoughts, and certainly not anymore anyway. I want to talk about the Gorkamorka, so I started. Excuse me. And I really think it's a good opportunity to get into a small game. It's an old game. You can get the PDFs free online. It's a funky story. The fact that the orcs have crashed and they've crashed on a hulk and they've realised that they're stuck, and then they're trying to build something to get off there. Except all of the orcs are building something different. All the Met boys, they're getting the gangs, the mobs, to go out and get all the bits for them, but they're actually building something completely independent each, and none of them know what the other ones think they're building. I just love that idea that it's all so random that they could be building anything, and in the end they end up building something which looks like their gods, Mork and Gork, and they disagree on which one it looks like, and eventually that leads to a big quarrel, and it ends up being destroyed. Well, half destroyed anyway. Excuse me. And from there, they basically start worshipping it, and then you've got the wars for the scrap to keep the orcs alive and whatnot. And that's basically the story behind it. It's a fairly simple story, and of course it's campaign driven, like Norka, like Necromunda is, because it's from the same era, and I think they both use the same version of Warhammer as the basis for their rules. I think that looks quite funky. Duke new. It's building up quite nice actually. The more I sort of go at it, sort of building up from the bottom up, it's giving quite a nice effect in terms of looking like dust from a desert. It'd be interesting to see what it comes out like when it's completely dry, so I can at least see how I'm going to do the fronts. But if anyone's watching, feel free to leave a comment. It'll pop up there, so just be mindful that it will actually be on the video when you do that. But it means that the moment when I see it and I respond to it, you'll be able to see. If that makes any sense, because there's a delay, and it can be a bit sort of, you leave a comment and then 30 seconds later I see it, and it can be a bit awkward. So it sort of helps with the understanding of the delay, I suppose, on the thing. Plus, it helps helps people understand what I'm talking about if I'm answering a question, because it's going to be up there, which makes sense, right? So yes, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the channel a bit further with the old Gorkamorka theme, because there's nothing on YouTube for Gorkamorka, and I think one of the barriers of entry for it is that when I started looking into it, I looked on YouTube, which is basically where I binge to find all my information on anything these days. I don't know about you guys, and I tried to binge on Gorkamorka, and there was nothing on there. There was like a couple of really old bat reps from 4 years ago, and then a fella doing an unboxing, and then nothing. So I decided to start small, as you've seen, where I'm doing the scenery and general orky stuff, and keeping it small. But what I want to do, sorry, I keep going off point here. Brain's going around in circles. What I want to do is to make videos that will help people get into it. So, an introduction into it, story, background, maybe do some rules videos, try and explain the rules and how that works. Because if you've played the old Warhammer 40k, then you've basically played the rules for Gorkamorka, except they've added in some sort of unique rules to do with vehicles, with ramming each other and all sorts of like vehicular combat stuff, which, to be honest, works really well. I've had a couple games and I really like the way that the vehicles work in it. And of course, every orc, rather than in 40k, goes down as soon as it gets a wound. In this, when you receive a wound, you roll on a chart, and it might be that you go down and you can get back up again. At which point you actually lose his ability. It gets weaker, so each orc loses a ballistic skill and a weapon skill when he stands back up again. I think he gets damaged. Or you can roll and actually just get the damage and not go down, or you can be out of the game and get a serious injury, at which point you roll at the end of the game, because it's, as I say, it's a campaign system. So when you finish the game, you you roll for a load of stuff. You get money. You roll to see how your vehicles are damaged, if they're out for the count, and you roll to see for your orcs as well, to see if they're damaged, and then you roll for lots of stuff, and the campaign continues, and either your mob gets stronger or weaker. Always weaker when I'm playing, never stronger. At least the guy I was playing against, it got stronger. And the mob changes. I mean, they can get injuries, or they can try and beef up the vehicles. You can sort of choose what you want to happen to the vehicle, but then a dice roll determines the actual outcome as to whether the vehicles become better, or it might have a little quirk, which is kind of cool, because you can get vehicles with character as well. Or the vehicle might be destroyed, which is one of the things that can happen. What I'm seeing is a little bit of it is leaking through to the front. So you can see there, probably because I'm holding it like this when I'm doing it, so a little bit coming through. And to be honest, to my colourblind eyes, that looks a little bit like rust. I don't know whether it's orange, whether it's just yellow, but it looks kind of cool. The good thing is the stream's working fine. And see from looking at the top here that I've got no dropped frames, which is a big improvement over the last few times where I've been really struggling with getting those frames working. I think the main difference is I was trying to get my processor. There we go. Yeah, I was using less processor, so it was compressing less of the stream before it sent it through the internets. So what it does is it takes the video. You can either choose to have a massive bandwidth, which you basically fire at YouTube and then it spreads out and shares it with people who want to watch, or you can choose for your processor to compress it down and then send it a small amount of data, which of course is better for everybody, because it means that people can watch it with less. It means that it's more smooth, basically. It's less problematic when it comes to your internet connection, that sort of thing. just in case anybody was wondering about how streaming works. So there you go. Just had a little bit of a lowdown on that. Sorry, I'm all over the place this evening. Not sure if anyone will enjoy watching this. Me talking about absolute crap. I'm trying to keep it on subject, but it's not working too well. It's probably coming across as a right. Blah. Yeah. No viewers yet, so anybody watching this is going to be watching it after the fact anyway. As if, I mean, yeah, don't be stupid, Greg. People will be watching it because I know that I've got my subscribers, which I'm eternally grateful for. Because without the subscribers, there'd be nobody watching any of this crap anyway. So, yeah, anybody watching this is likely to be watching it after the fact. I was hoping to get maybe a few people on so they could ask some questions and I could answer them, but that'd be nice in the future. Maybe I will schedule one of these down the line. See whether I can get the time. Because, of course, I'm doing this in the bedroom. Hey, I've just thought. I've got a camera, I've got lights. And I'm in my bedroom, and the bed's behind me. God, this would look dodgy if someone saw this setup. Speaking of which, I'll probably share how all of this goes together, because I'm actually in my cupboard. I got relegated. So, when the babies are born, I got relegated out of the big room. We made that into a nursery, and I got relegated into a small room. Then, when Lillian passed, we moved Jacob into what is now the second nursery. The problem we've got is that the big bedroom is now, no one likes to go in there because of what happened. So I got relegated out of there as well. And all that was left is we've got this sort of wardrobe with mirrored doors. And I've taken half of that, stuck my computer in it. I'm actually standing up at my desk. I use a standing desk. I can control the height of it. And that's where I am. So I'm in the cupboard. There's some luggage up the top there, but most of it is being taken up by a nice big ultra-wide screen and then my desk with all my crap underneath it. Just in case you were wondering. Again, I'm going off on one. Back to the point, yes. What was the point? I've completely lost my train of thought. I'm gonna make you guys. It's completely gone. Oh well. Well, yeah, let me know what you think of this. If you've enjoyed listening to me drone on for however long it's been. 20 minutes, is it? I honestly don't know. Whatever 42,000 frames equates to. It's a lot. But I think this is coming together. This bloody camera. Got quite a bit of sand on my hands now. Focus. Focus. There we go. And again. I mean, you can see what the effect that we're getting here. It is building up, and from a distance, that is really starting to look quite nice. Need to get the lighting on this. See what I can do. So I can bring the lighting down. Ooh. And we're all blind. God, that's bright. Jesus. Got myself a daylight bulb and it's crazy bright. I don't know if that's helping anybody. Probably not. That's basically what it looks like. I think you can probably get a fair idea if I put it like that. Well, I think I've probably talked for long enough. I've got what I wanted to get done. Just wanted to give it a go, really. Take that first step. See what people think. Be nice to know what you think of this. Of course, I can do longer ones. I've got quite a bit of stuff I want to talk about. Of course, there's personal stuff about coping with loss of a child, which, of course, I think there are other people out there. It may not be in my subscribership at the moment, but there are people who might be interested and might fancy a chat. And then, of course, there's my wargaming stuff. So I'm hoping to always have something that I'm doing at the time. Of course, that's the whole point for having several cameras So I can do this whole thing. And then, I mean, I could always get extra people on. It's quite easy to have a YouTube, have a Skype or a Hangout, and then stick them up in the other corner. Fairly easy to do. So that's always a possibility. Of course, that would involve having friends. Just kidding, I got friends. F you. That's come out quite nice. I'll probably take some pictures, and of course, you know me, I love taking pictures and putting it on the social media. So that'll happen. Just a sec. So I'll probably end it here because I've finished what I was doing. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and stay well, girls. Stay well, guys, and I'll see you next one. Thanks again. Cheers. Bye bye.